your orientation and education. Number one, if you are not exposed in life, if all the people that you've been mingling with, if you are born in a community, you've lived in that community, you've grew up in that community, you've been mingling with your fellow Igbo or fellow Yoruba or fellow Hausa people, definitely there will be this kind of like resistance of tolerance to other ethnic group in the country. But what I can say is, before you hate your fellow human being, why not first look at you yourself, then look at your finger. You know, if your fingers are not equal, so do you expect like every other person to reason like you, when the answer to whatever is mystery for you is right within your own physique? So if your fingers are not equal, definitely you will know that people will come from different ethnic group, people will have different orientation, people will have different perspective to life. For instance, if you have good exposure, in some tribe they prostrate to greet, but in some tribe, if you go there and you prostrate to greet, like in Europe, the Oyinbo man will be thinking, does this man have epilepsy? Why is it that he's always falling down when he sees his people? He will know that you are greeting. He will think you have epilepsy.
It's just like you saying Sasa or sorry to someone in the US or UK.
Yeah.
And they ask you didn't hurt me. Why are you saying sorry to me?
Exactly.
But meanwhile, it's a culture here, almost like a tradition or an attitude.
While I was studying, it's a crime for you to tell your boss, man. You see those kind of characters, you see that we'll see our boss and we'll be shaking, we'll be saying, ma. See the way they are laughing. If Tinubu, the president, receives a call right now that something is wrong with the son of Peter Obi, he will unleash all the state machinery to make sure that that boy is safe. He will do all within his power. He will forget politics first. Same also if Peter Obi had won the election, if he hears that something is wrong with Sheyi, he will unleash all he has in his capacity to make sure that that boy is safe. So if they can love themselves that much, then why do we hate ourselves? Why do we play all this ethnic card? Why do we like to show hatred to another person? And the truth is, some of you that are showing hatred, you are walking in you are going on the street. If you see an Igbo girl that is fine, you go woo am, you go align with her, you go want relate with her, you go want hug her. Make I pause there.
All right, so let's run you through the hot topics very quickly. Welcome to the show. So on the hot topic this evening, very quickly, protests erupt across Canada as 70,000 international students face deportation. And I thought this will interest you. Go ahead, please.
Angry youth attack rep in Bchi, accused lawmaker of poor representation.
The youth attack rep?
Yes, attack a rep member in Bchi.
Okay, so Tesh government behaves like sailor lost on high seas.
Okay.
Atiku.
I'm still talking about Atiku now. This says you can't contest for president under PDP in 2027, but the judge is telling Atiku this.
Oh, by the way, Atiku Abubakar has responded to that very quickly and trust him to come for a rebate very quickly. And very quickly he said, I'm preoccupied with Nigerians' plight, not 2027. Atiku knocks body judge. Silence.
Go ahead. Importation of toxic fuel will occupy filling stations nationwide. Group 1s.
Okay. And where are we again? Wale Edun, Tinubu will soon send whistleblower bill to National Assembly.
And this says NLC asks national officers affiliates to accompany Ajero to police headquarters on Thursday.
Okay, and then Gbajabi Amila, no timeline yet for implementation of Oronsaye's reports.
And police arrest naval officer for killing ex-naval chief's son in Abuja.
All right, Lakers, these are the hot topics that we have, but let's take a quick break. You know, as we do it, we'll be right back very, very quickly as we begin to dissect the hot topics very soon. Stay with us. Evening Rush with Pressures, featuring sound and informed guests across various sectors to discuss matters arising on Hot Topic Part.
What was the rate of inflation? And Demi, what was the exchange rate?
Intense conversations, critical analysis.
What is wrong with us 200 million people? We can't even give ourselves.
We sometimes disagree.
When we say our GDP, it's not an oil dominated.
To agree.
Hey, like what's going on here? You caught that game, I saw that.
On Hot Topic Pali, Monday to Friday, 6:15 p.m. to 9 p.m. 90.3. Voice of the People FM. Lagos. Now you have a voice. Lagos, you are welcome back. It is still 90.3 Voice of the People FM. So let's begin from the foreign scene. You know, they say charity begins at home, but this time we'll start the charity from somewhere else. So we hear that tens of thousands of international students, including Nigerian students, took to the streets across Canada this week in a wave of protest against new immigration policies introduced by the federal government. According to a report by City News Toronto on Monday, the demonstrations, which drew approximately 70,000 students, occurred in major provinces, including the province Edward Island, Ontario, Manitoba, and British Columbia. The protest came in response to a series of immigration reforms that have left many international students fearing deportation. In 2021, the Canada abolished the post-graduation work permit program, which had previously allowed international students to gain valuable work experience in the country after completing their studies. Compounding the issue, the federal government introduced a 2-year cap on international student visas last year. As of 2023, international students made up to 37% of study visa holders in Canada. However, the recent cap on student visas is expected to reduce the intake of foreign students by 35%, a move the government argues is necessary to alleviate pressures on housing, unemployment, and public services. Now, in June, the Canadian government further tightened regulations by announcing that foreign nationals would no longer be able to apply for a PGWP at the border. So this decision has sparked fears among students who are concerned about their future in Canada. Student advocacy groups, including so many of them, have warned that many international graduates could face deportation once their work permits expire at the end of the year. So there's a lot of complaint. Dr. Deji, you know that this is like your jurisdiction, and I thought to raise it. What do we do about this? The fear for this is because a lot of people use this, now in the Nigerian way. They use this, medium to quickly jackpot out of Nigeria. So, what would we have done better in Nigeria to ensure that we bring back these hands, even if they studied abroad, and they would have to come back home to put in that expertise and experience in our country?
Well, the thing is, it will be very difficult for the abroad expatriates, majority of them, all of them, to return back to the country, because imagine you've been existing in an environment where there is no light. Even there are some people that schooled abroad that whenever they are around, the way their people will be talking, clamor. I can't count how many insults I've received, from some of my friends and families. But the truth is that these are some kind of structural, institutional issues. For instance, if you are opportune to, let me use academic as an example. If you're opportune to school abroad and you are well minted and you're hot, there are some people in that department that you are trying to go to that have been redundant. They are just there. They've turned themselves into oracle there. So if you come back and you are feeling fly, they know how to kind of like frustrate you. So we don't have a system that encourages the best. We have a system that encourages mediocrity. And the thing is that we operate. How do you expect people to come back when whatever certificate you hold, whatever degree you hold, you cannot compete favorably on the job market? Nigeria is one of the rare countries whereby if you hold a first class, you see that third class, we owe letter from senator, they go employ and leave you get first class. So how do you expect good brains to return to the country? And I pity people. You see, may we not be unlucky. I can say people that are going for diaspora education now, majority of them are quite unlucky. The reason why I said so is that since the towards the end of the Buhari regime and now the Tinubu regime, the exchange rate. So if you are thinking you can do self-sponsor, the way the exchange rate will deal with you, and that's why if you go to all these universities abroad, we have different categories of students. The one that when I get there, when away we go get down, we go survive. If I can survive for Nigeria, I feel survive for there. There are people that are being given money back home. There are some people that believe, okay, when I get there, I will work and I will kind of like
self-sponsor,
survive. But the truth is, you see those that are being given money back home. Now that the economy, for instance, for you to have $10,000, you need, I think, 16 million naira. Am I correct?
Yeah.
16 million naira.
Approximately.
Now, the truth is, how do you get 16 million naira? How easy is it?
You're not talking about your upkeep, accommodation,
to get that
flight
16
ticket.
million. How easy it is. So the thing is, gone are the days whereby people that don't have much, that's why I can count myself as lucky, because I have scaled through that before now. But the truth is, if it is now, in the university in the UK, if you have to pay like £15,000, depending on the school, that £15,000 now, how much is it? And apart from that, you need like pre-expenses, pre-travel expenses, flight, application fee, visa application fee, a whole lot of expenses. So that's why you see that when Nigerians go there, and some of these countries that Nigerians are going to, the environment that Nigerians are going to, Nigerians are already there. So the place is already choked. It's already saturated. And when you now get there, survival now becomes an issue. So you see Nigerians that are sleeping on the street. Nigerians are now owing school fees. Because why? To cope is not easy. When you are going to the school, if $1 is 800 naira, now $1 is 1,600.
So shouldn't it have been a reason? Shouldn't this have been enough reason for African countries like Nigeria, for instance, to take its educational system even more serious? We're not even meeting the United Nations budgets for education.
Well, I think there should.
I'm not even sure we're running half already.
I think there should be a policy that all the students of the politicians should be studying in this country. If their children are to back their degrees in this country, our educational system will be great. Why do I say so? If you are looking for their kids, go to first 100 university in the world. Google it. First 100 university. You see, out of that first 100 university, pick the one. They won't like this thing that I'm saying because they know it's the truth, but I will say it. Pick the ones that are in UK, US, Canada, Australia. Pick those 4 countries. Those first 100 universities that are in those countries, go there. Go and be looking at the blacks there. You will find the sons and daughters of your ministers.
All right, thank you.
You will find them there. Wait, please.
No, Dr. Digi,
and when you find them there, you will find them living large. You see, there's a difference between being abroad
and they're not working,
and you are managing.
And they are not working.
They are not. I said they are living large. They are living large more than the citizens of that country. The way they spend, and you'll be imagining that. Wait, are you more Nigerian than me? So the thing is that politicians doesn't have the fear of God. They not only send their kids to the best school, and that's why I PTC, get money, go better school. Igbo man, wait for help your destiny, you still the 8 times.
Okay, let's do.
Yoruba man, wait for help your life,
you still about education right
now.
They
can do you.
Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Still talking about education, but bringing it down to Nigeria. Former Vice President Atiku Abike has condemned the federal government's directive that admission to tertiary institutions should not be given to candidates less than 18 years old. Atiku made his position known in a statement on his Facebook handle describing President Bola Tinubu's government as behaving like a lost sailor on high seas. That's according to Atiku. You may recall that the Minister of Education, Tahiru Maman, had directed that admission to tertiary institutions should not be given to candidates less than 18 years. And in Atiku's voice, he noted that the minister noted that the 18-year-old benchmark is in line with the 6334 system of education.
Sorry, can I comment on that topic?
Let me just break it down a little bit, and you have your
so
take.
Atiku's response, please, very quickly.
However, reacting to his statement, Atiku opined that the recent policy of the Federal Ministry of Education pegging age limit to entry to tertiary institutions was an absurdity and disincentive to scholarship. According to him, the policy runs foul of the notion of declination of responsibilities in a federal system of government such as we are practicing. And he gave, made a few swipe, like, according to him, it gives a graphic impression of how the Tinubu government behaves like a lost sailor on a high sea. Dr.
Okay.
Digi.
So, Dr. Digi, I know that you want to comment on this, but the real issue here is that if the federal government has not pegged the entrance to university at 18, it pegged the entrance, the age limit to write WAEC at 18. That is to say that if your child is not up to 8 years old, the child must be 18. We cannot write WAEC. But the real worry here is that lots of students who are in secondary school right now are likely to graduate at the age of 16, 17. Some of them even 15.
At 15 sometimes.
Some of them even 15. So shouldn't have been a process that should be phased out gradually from primary school by defining the age limits to entrance into primary school. So that any child who wants to enter primary school from this September now must be of a set, he must have been 18. Instead of saying that those who are already in secondary school now, even if they like, let them be 16. After they graduate, they cannot write
what
WAEC.
would they be doing?
So what would they be doing for that 2 years?
Space,
I know that you can't wait to jump in. Just go ahead, sir.
When I first heard of this story,
Yes, please.
I felt very sad.
Why?
That, you see, we should have fear of God. Oh. Do you know why?
Why, sir?
People that benefited from free education under Awolowo,
Scholarships.
you know, that benefited from free education, that they were giving them milk. That when I was having a chat with a 90-year-old woman in 2012, because I like wisdom of the elderly. You know, I wasn't born during their time, but they take me back and give me empirical fact. The woman told me that during their time, by the time you are graduating, that your mother will feel like a king because there are companies already waiting to hire you. They will give you free car. That life was so easy. If you benefited from free education, you now have the effrontery to set when they can write entrance exam to 18 years. And the reality is, what is the assurance that when you write that exam at 18 years, you will pass? I'm sure that a lot of people listening to me did not write GCE once, did not write WAEC. I didn't write my own once. So imagine I was only opportune. I wrote my first GCE in SS2.
Likewise, me.
Although I didn't pass much, but it gave me that exposure. You know, then they'll say, oh, use it to gain experience. That, okay, the next one you'd have gained the experience. And it's true. So if I'm only permitted to write GCE or WAEC at 18,
how many times do you write before you not pass?
How many times do I want to write it? So if I write it the first time and I use it to gain experience, the second time, if they give me withheld result, don't forget there's withheld result. Precious talk now.
There is also
cancelled
results.
You be
I think my first GCE was all cancelled.
Whether you are
I
want to know many times you wrote WAEC.
Let's not go there.
I must write WAEC.
You don't want to hear that story.
They should give me your result like Buhari.
You don't want to hear.
They should send your result.
You don't want to hear that story.
So the thing is,
WAEC.
if you write it the first time, and at that first time you use it to gain experience, the second time, if you write it and your result was withheld, if you are not lucky, the third time if you write it, you have English, you don't have maths. Excuse me, have they not ruined your
20s by this time?
Ruined your educational career, for God's sake? So why, of all the things in the world, you see, it makes my heart bleed. If we are the capital of the black race, and I happen to be a citizen of that country, I want to see great intelligence. I was speaking to a man in diaspora, an Oyibo man, one day. We had a very good conversation. At some point, he looked at me and said, if you are this intelligent, then what is wrong with your country? Why? I felt ashamed. What he said was ringing in my head for 3 days. Yes. And he was just ringing in my head, what is wrong with your country? What is wrong with your country? So the thing is, people cannot, it is not a gift. Result is not a gift. So if you now peg it at 18, that means that you have limited people's access to education. And I can tell you that there are brilliant kids these days, the kind of kids that God is, unleashing on earth these days. Their brain is so sharp. So you are telling me that if a child finishes school at the age of 15, and that child is able to have good WAEC at the age of 16, before guys will begin to toast that girl, before her eye go open, she won't have access to education till 18. And this is some of the things that makes, don't you notice that in Nigeria and Africa, before we achieve it, I'll give you an example. When I started my PhD, the husband and the wife, young couples, fresh couples, my landlady, both of them have PhDs. I'm older than them. Yeah, if you are young and you have, as I did so, some people see they look at me that PhD, why is this so? For example, if you go to some of these university, you see old men, they never get PhD. You see some of them, they are still struggling to come for seminar and they don't know anything, no. But I don't want to go into that story. If not, I'll give you some examples of some of these lecturers that that molest girls. Come and see them abroad when they come from seminar. Though they don't know, they don't know anything. But that's another topic for another day. So if you want to limit access to an education that is already not affordable, for instance, I will tell you, that's why I said maybe I'm a bit lucky because I'm not that old. Now Nigeria bad. I'm not that old. The truth is, when I was doing my BSc, I did not pay more than 12,000 naira.
You don't want to go there now.
As school fees.
Dr. Deji, can I just...
I did not pay more than 12,000. So now, if you want to go to school, they are paying 250, 300. How easy it is for you to see 250,000, 300,000 naira. If you are a parent and you are a good striker or you are a goalkeeper and you have like 4 kids, the age gap between your kids will be maybe 1, 2, 3 years, depending on how see Ronaldo you are. Promise I can see you smiling.
Okay, Dr. Deji,
I don't want to declare you a game mistress because the way you are smiling.
Let's go to other conversations. So to politics, the former Deputy National Chairman of the People's Democratic Party (PDP), Chief Bode says former Vice President Atiku Abubakar must wait till 2031 if he wants to contest for the presidency. I mean, he's saying this because he says that it is the constitution of the PDP, of the party, that a southerner should be in power at this time based on the zoning principles of the PDP. And he also did say that even in that 2027, Atiku will already be 81 years old, and this is the time for him to embrace the President Joe Biden concept of allowing the young or younger generation to run for the highest office in the land. So he said he doesn't have anything against him, so he's just saying that. But however, Atiku Abubakar has swiftly reacted to that, and he said he is currently preoccupied with the plight of Nigerians. This suffer, what would they suffer for this country? Where one are they suffer? He said Nigerians who have been exposed to unprecedented how do we I will go take talk for pidgin English. Unprecedented. That is hunger where they are unnecessary na say English. Hunger when no get mates. Okay. He said Oga said that in they concerned now more concerned about the kind of hunger when no get mates, when no know anybody, when Nigerian people they hunger and the deprivation amidst plenty, not permutations for 2027. That is say they lack, when Nigerians they lack and suffer, what did they suffer? Even though say their papa land get milk and honey, now waiting they suffer, now waiting they think of now. It's not be 2027 now you think about. I can't say what's going on here, Dr. DJ.
Well,
I'd like to get your thoughts on this.
Sincerely, I believe that if you are trying to catch something since 1993, because Atiku Abubakar has been interested in the presidency since the days of MK Abiola.
Yes.
MK Abiola, with profound respect to him, now he has even forgotten that he come to this sinful world. And you are still 1993. This is 2024. And the next election is 2027. Please, I don't know, what is there in Nigeria's presidency? Because the truth is, sometimes I really pity these guys. For instance, if you say you want to become Nigeria's president, you want to put Nigeria's wahala for your head. If not that, there is the premium we place on politics is more that if you are a president, you are like a demigod. You can promise heaven and earth, and put people inside suffering. Nigeria is a country where you can promise renewed hope and give people hopelessness. If not that, it is that kind of country. Why would somebody like Atiku Abubakar be interested in contesting again? Please, award organizers, they should give Atiku veteran contestant, because every year he always appear. What I believe is, why don't he sell that
But he didn't contest in 2015.
Why didn't he sell that idea?
He supported Buhari.
What he wants to do, use it to raise one young candidate. Sponsor, you've been a custom officer for so many years. You've been vice president from 1999 to 2007. You've worked with different kind of people. Atiku Abubakar is a good striker. He married he married Igbo, he married Yoruba, So the thing is, are you saying that in the course of your years, there's no other person that can do this thing? It must be you. And let us now look at Nigeria's antecedent. The person that tried it, that it must be me. What did we gain last? That person is Buhari. When he turned himself into veteran contestant. And if you can remember, where they were bringing different slogans, February. That's February. They are using it for February.
Yes, February.
When they postponed the election, they changed it to March for Buhari. When Buhari came there, what did we experience? Monumental, unprecedented hunger, starvation, poverty, and insecurity. Ouch. So if that is experienced, you now want me to give Atiku another chance. You know, if Buhari had done well, we would have think that, okay, maybe by the time you are contesting, you are using it to gather policies. You are using it to kind of like articulate your view that when you get there, Nigeria will be better. But if the situation of Buhari is anything to go by, definitely you cannot. And another thing we should consider is there's no way age will naturally tell on you. You cannot cheat nature.
Okay.
So if you are at that age and you are still struggling to become the president, you will get there now. You will now be sleeping. You get there, you'll be carrying our jet to say you are going to France. Go and be spending our money on medical tourism. You will get there now. Your aide will come and tell you that, oh guy, if you don't buy there, you will die. You say, oh, go and buy it.
So moving forward,
you will get there now. They tell you that they should turn education before they write GCE and why it should be 18 years. You will approve it.
All right. So Dr. Deji, let's move on.
Moving forward
is
now.
Another young person.
Now still to leadership
Precious
and how the people.
We don't want to talk about young leader now. Now, young leader, we want to talk about
precious for president.
What's he talking about? What's he talking about leadership, Dr. Deji? A member representing Ningi Waraji Federal Constituency of Bchi State in the House of Representatives, Adamu Hashimu Ranga, narrowly escaped being mobbed by angry youths who allegedly attacked his convoy in Ningi. Daily Post, according to them, reports that Ranga, who was elected in 2023 under the People's Democratic Party (PDP), had attended the funeral of the late Emir of Ningi, Muhammad Yanusu Danyaya, on Sunday, along with other prominent figures from the Ningi Emirate Council. However, during the event, some youths of his constituency expressed their displeasure for his representation, accusing him of neglecting them since his election and relocating to Abuja. The youths began chanting Bamuyi, Bamuyi in Hausa, which means and which translates to "we do not want you," while throwing sand and stones at the lawmaker as he was leaving the late Emir's palace around 5:42 p.m.
Dr. Deji.
Okay. So if it has gotten to this point, Dr. DJ, I don't know. So because a lot of, especially northern leaders, a lot of them, the present minister was Matawale was accused, of not even going to his state and local government due to insecurity, basing in Abuja. The Kaduna State governor, present one, has still been accused somehow of living in Abuja and governing from Abuja instead of his state. What's your take?
Well, the thing is, everybody has their own stretch limit. If you campaign, if you promise heaven and earth, and when you get there, you begin to do as you like. The thing is, you can deceive the people, but you cannot always deceive everybody every time. So when you make a promise that you will do this and you didn't do it, you've been rolling with people before, you've been greeting people, you've been prostrating. You now say because you won election, maybe they even rigged the election for you. You now begin push shirt for Agbada. You now they carry shoulder pad. They will greet people again. You wait saying, are you they call them? Now they will call you. You won't pick. You that you will walk freely before. Now you are using escort, and you are using your escort to raise dust on people's faces. Now you are now using your money to snatch people's girlfriends, snatch people's wife, snatch people's land.
So Dr. DG,
this is what some of these guys do now. Am I not saying the truth?
But
don't they do it?
I wanted to ask particularly, what is it with African leaders with misrepresentation of their people? Is it in our DNA? Is it genetic? What is wrong with us Africans and leadership?
Well, the thing is that sincerely, I believe some of our people in Africans, the masses, are kind of like they are politically passive, and that can be adduced to poverty, For instance, now, in fairness to Nigerians, you have kids, you are here to pay out rent, you are still receiving the same salary that you are receiving before Tinubu got there. You are preoccupied with survival. You know, that affects your political timing. So, in that kind of instance, these guys just believe that they are there for themselves, because why? They are not being checkmated by the people. Another thing is, in Africa, we have what we call personalization of state. That you see, because you are occupying a public office, you now see the state as your own personal entity. You don't see that you are there for the people. Whereas the great Bentham Mills says that you are occupying that office to seek the happiness of the greatest number of people within your jurisdiction. But what we have is, you are seeking the interest of you, your family, and the truth is, it has been asserted politically that when you minus interest, what will be remaining will be nonsense. What do I mean by that? If you're a politician and you want to take a decision, if you minus the interest of your wife, you minus the interest of your girlfriend, you minus the interest of your brother, you know, promise you are laughing.
You're talking about
no, that's how they
wife
roll.
On the same breath. You're talking about girlfriends.
That is how they roll.
Okay, sir.
Go to Abuja, go to all these luxury hotels, you see them.
Okay, sir.
The way they treat all these small girls with chicken chain. They are hearing me. They know I'm saying the truth. That's how they do.
Yeah, with taxpayers' money.
Oh my God. Oh my. In fact, pray that one politician should not have interest in you. Maybe by next week you won't be in this studio, because the way they will spoil your life with money. That's the way they are doing.
All right, so Dr. Deji, let's move. Let's move to this conversation now. The reason, because it's important, because P2B just the other day did raise a fear that Nigeria may begin to slide towards Banana Republic if whistleblowers are not protected. And the good thing is that Wale Edun, who is the coordinating minister of the economy and minister of finance, says President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will soon send a will soon send a bill seeking to protect whistleblowers to the National Assembly for its consideration and passage. So remember that the whistle policy was introduced by the administration of former President Muhammadu Buhari in 2016. But attempts to enact a legislative framework have failed repeatedly since then.
Do we need a whistleblower policy before you protect whistleblower?
I was going to say that.
That pedom of a guy.
Now whistling blow, Abi. On a trumpet.
He blow whistle.
They said he released. They termed it classified document.
What are those classified documents?
He blow whistle. Person blow whistle.
Because he was the one that first of all proved to us, to Nigerians, that we spent 90 billion naira on Hajj, on subsidizing the Hajj.
They drink wine now. The whistleblower, he dey prison, mosquito dey bite am. So I want to judge you by your action, not what you say. If you are here to send a bill, and the person that blow whistle, he dey inside, cell now, he dey cool off inside cell. The people that blow the whistle against, see, I think what should be particular to government is public interest. Whether classified document or unclassified document, the truth is, this person have blown it. For instance, if I happen to be the maybe head of one ministry, and they are saying Dr. Deji, and you now discover that this Dr. Deji, since his certificate is not genuine, mine is genuine anyway, free to write my school, they will confirm it for you. Now if you now tell them and you now blow the whistle, you now leave the person that blew the whistle, that is trying to help Nigeria, that is trying to help community, you now went after the whistleblower. If corruption is not in the DNA of the people in government, why should you go against a whistleblower? Are you not supposed to protect the whistleblower so that it will be easy for people to blow more whistle? Now people are throwing away their whistle. Who want blow whistle?
I wonder what is going to happen.
It's true now. Who want to blow whistle?
Someone currently in power or something. If that will be taken off.
During the Buhari time, the reason why people were blowing whistle, there
was a reward.
Is because
I think it was a 5% or so reward. But remember, there was a time that even with that whistle that was blown, there was an argument of what the whistleblower, the amount the whistleblower saw, and there was such argument about the exact amount that was in the location vis-a-vis the amount amount that was recorded.
That was recorded.
Uh-huh.
You know?
So
the thing is, you see, the thing is, why is
you remember
it
the Ikoyi Gate
why is
now?
it that,
You remember the Ikoyi Gate?
Why is it that when you have a government in Nigeria, and you think this government is worse, that how could this happen to this country? Wait until another government come into power. Before you see that government. I never believed that within a space of 1 year, you can sit down and think Buhari is a good guy. Buhari.
And dollar has skyrocketed to 1,600.
Buhari.
At least he
You
didn't
know-
exceed.
Dr. Deji,
He
why-
didn't get
why
to
you sounding
1,000 during
surprised?
I
Buhari.
think Buhari, he will be hearing me in that that Buhari. You are not thinking that Buhari is a good guy. Tinubu, why? Why you they disappoint me like this?
And we don't know what's going to
you
come
do know
next.
that Nigerians are now seeing Buhari as a good guy. Buhari will leave.
But he said we were
Buhari
going
did
to
not leave
miss
8 years
him.
ago.
Well, in fairness
Maybe
to
they
him,
imagine
he
say
said
maybe
we're
we
going
dey
to
young
miss
that time. We
him.
never know what's up. Buhari that left just a year ago, people now they see Buhari as good guy. Because say if you be whistleblower under Buhari, you still they get 5%, right? Your life still fit change if you go blow whistle like $50 billion.
All right, so let's move forward to NLC matters now. The Nigerian Labour Congress has
Buhari that people they look for witchcraft. Where they go take nowhere
Dr.
money dey, no
Deji.
whistle. They look for witchcraft.
Dr. Deji,
But now
let's move on to some other stories. We're running out of time. NLC has asked all national officers and affiliate
people
unions
may go YouTube see as precious they smile.
to accompany
Men
Joe
are precious.
Ajaero, its president to the Nigerian Police Force and NPF headquarters on Thursday. The police had invited Ajaero for questioning over a case of alleged criminal conspiracy, terrorism financing, treasonable felony, subversion, and cyber crime.
Okay, so yes, this Joe Ajaero's case, Dr. DJ. Why is it looking like the NLC body? It's looking at it like there is more to it than the accusation. Remember, it is said that a wanted criminal was housed or given accommodation in that building, and some part of the union assume that is a witch hunt.
You see this.
But if you're called for questioning, should you not just go and
You see
answer?
this Joe Ajaero guy, they confuse my brain. I don't know whether to support her or whether to take it. Because if you look at one kind, you see this Joe Ajaero guy, like, what's up with this guy? If you look at another baby, you be like say this guy, like say they make sense small. But when you are fighting for 250K, where the guy huff me, he huff me totally. Till now I never dey on.
Where?
I think they look for how to recharge myself. Tinubu economy they had to recharge no dey easy. When they were saying 250K, now so they shout
Minimum wage.
minimum wage. All of a sudden they enter with Oga Tinubu. You know, I don't know why Balablu is coming to my mind. Sorry, the president.
No, Dr. DJ, you won't
they
say that
came to
on public radio. Apologies. Just go ahead.
See,
No, go
But
back
he
to your
didn't say
conversation.
anything.
The thing is, when they came out from that meeting, Ajaero change channel. They say, oh, they've agreed on 70K.
And they gave
And
the
they gave him
president 3
Gosa.
goes out. How many
And
goes
they
did
say
they give him
Gosa.
then?
From 250K to 70K. You can't come out, they smile. Where people, they look at you, say, you know, you be their messiah.
But was 250
Their action at that
But
point
the
in
250
time.
was not feasible now, was it?
Oh, precious. If 250 is not visible, the negotiation that I've always seen is now it's just like you went to market, you don't know how much you want buy am. The seller don't know how much they want sell am. Now go they drag, they come down small. But
But he did that
you
for a
were
while
saying
now.
250K, you just went into a meeting, few hours meeting. You agree on 70K and you are saying Gbosa and you came out smiling. What kind of Gbosa is that?
Okay.
Play me the tape of that meeting. I want to see what happened in that meeting.
Don't worry, I don't want to play.
What did the president said that convinced you and you are saying Gbosa? So the thing is, and another thing is, I believe that sincerely, sometimes on a more serious note, sometimes God positions you strategically to be an oasis in the desert. As at when the president announced first subsidy gone, Joe Ajaero was the oasis in the desert of Nigerians. Unfortunately, that oasis was missing at that crucial point in time. If Joe Ajaero give it to Adams or Shiomole, his ways may be political, you know, but give it to him. If Joe Ajaero had acted immediately, the president would have acted swiftly to cushion the effect of first subsidy on the life of Nigeria. Now, let us be realistic with ourselves. Let us be very realistic. Do you know how many people have developed high blood pressure? Do you know how many people can't afford to eat? Do you know how many people have dropped out of school? Do you know how many people are now homeless? Because if you are receiving 30,000 when bread was 500 naira, the same bread now is now 1.5, you are still receiving 30,000 naira. So if Joe Ajaero had acted timely, definitely he would have saved a lot of people from enormous pain. So his acting came late in time, and the ending of that action self. I remembered a time that they have threatened that they will go on strike. All of a sudden, they just came out and say they've called off the strike, and there was no action. They just say, "Oh, let us give them."
So how does that
time.
affect the conversation, the present issue that he has with the with the police?
How it affects is that, you see, in this country, if government they look you, they won't get you, they know when to get you.
Oh wow!
I'll give you an
think
example.
It's a witch hunt?
I'll give you an example. When Boro, Isaac Adakaboro in the Niger Delta,
yes,
when he declared Niger Delta as a sovereign nation, Gowon government, when they caught him, he was in prison. During Biafra war, they brought him, they wooed him on the side of government. He died under, according to literature, unexplainable, mysterious circumstances. Unexplainable, mysterious circumstances. So the thing is that this Ajaero of a thing, he may not be in the good books. They may kind of like, just try to draw him close, make him feel, oh, you are a friend, back down. But if he's not in the good books of the presidency, you will surely know that they will come for you, because we've had people, you go into a building according to the police, you know that somebody is occupying the building and the person is linked to terrorism. Now you've gone after the person. What is the connection of NLC to that building?
They're the landlord.
They are the landlord.
They're the ones who rented the house, the space.
Wait, in Nigerian law, if my father commit a crime, I cannot be held responsible for it.
Because the first
same blood, though. Same blood. If Precious commit a crime, you cannot be held responsible for it. They must find Precious. Look for Precious. That is the law. So if you are the landlord of a building, how does it connect to this? So the thing, except police is ordering something for reason best known to them that we don't know yet. But I can tell you for free that Joe Ajaero, he know they the right click. Forget okay. If he's in the right click, if he's in the solid click, if you like.
So do you think he still use the counterpart in the right click?
Now same. That is the kind of Nigeria that we operate. For instance, where's Yaya Bello? Where's Yaya Bello to today? They don't settle Amba.
Oh.
Let me give you. Pressure, don't interrupt me if I want to give you reference.
Dr. DG.
Because as the spirit bring down, if you won't give you like 15 references.
Nigerians won't call in. They won't call in. No, it's okay. They go.
Okay, let me leave time for my people.
No.
They are my people. I love them.
No. So they try talk. Say no matter how bad you are.
I say na click. This country, if you are in the right click.
It washes away your sins.
For instance, I stand to be corrected. I have not seen a video where Nnamdi Kanu brandish firearms. I stand to be corrected. I'm yet to see the video. But Asari Dokubo, I've seen videos of him brandishing.
So Dr. Did you go into this NLC case?
It's true. If you clicks.
So you did mention that 250,000 to 70,000 naira. Many will say if 250,000 or even 500,000 was too much, then how about 100 million naira for a jet for a president, 160 million for House of Reps? How about that? The reason I'm saying this, I'm coming.
You took me to 800 million. No, I want to go to 8,000.
No.
The VP that said if you are Shetty Bobo, why? Shetty my guy, why? Waiting people do you? You said 8,000 naira. That people, if you are help me, now you be journalist.
In the life of the youth, yes.
We know what they do
in the life of the
Precious,
youth.
from today, they must reduce your salary to 8,000. If you know, if you are a responsible youth, if you know what you are doing.
I'm a grandma.
I
am a grandma.
You are a grandma.
In fact, I can decide to be a youth. I can decide to be an irresponsible grandma because I can only use that money if I was responsible. I'm irresponsible.
The wine. In fact, water that these people drink is more than 8,000 naira. You are living in taxpayers' money.
Affluent.
Taxpayers' money. They use 21 billion to allegedly build house for you.
And then the statement is allegedly made too now, so in case the statement was not really
they
made.
are giving you electricity for 7. You they fly private jet from our common patrimony. You they live large. You they wear the best guinea with 10-yard agbada. If you want to wear suit, you go back to Mongo Park days with trainers.
Sneakers.
You wear Mongo Park suit.
And you trade for it.
And you trade for it. That suit will be like Mongo Park. Now, but
he didn't wear Mongo Park suit this time around.
We profound respect to my guy Shetima.
He didn't do that.
That suit, now designer suit. Now Shetima no get good body to carry am. No be say na any.
I
mean a posture. Maybe na sitting position.
Sitting position.
Yes.
You know, sir, when did they walk?
Dr. Deji, Dr. Deji now Nigerians. So wow, okay, no wahala. Let me leave you.
So can I say real out headlines?
No,
8,000 naira. 8,000 naira. How much is bag of rice? Wait. Imagine say precious. If you dey collect,
but why I mean just they look, they talk like this now.
If you dey collect 8K,
just promise give example. No, they use me.
Now poly bag you dey take the soap cloth. All this nice suit where you dey wear.
I feel attacked. Can you stop to promise and not me?
Where only you they find like 35
She's the
people.
producer.
Chena 8K they sustain you.
She's the producer.
Promise you too. You wear suit today. Wear 12 now. Chena 8K. See, let's be that. That's why you see that most of these people at the helm of affairs, they are disconnected from the people. People's pain. You know, sometimes when you see people crying, to them it's like as we are sitting opposite each other. What looks like 6 to me, if you are looking at 6 from my direction, will be 9 to you. W to me will be N to you. That's exactly how it is. You see, the pain of Nigerians, when they look at Nigerian face, they see it as smiles. That is, if you are not cut off from reality, if everything doesn't come free to you, that you don't even know the source of the food you are eating, they are just serving you the best meals.
Looks like
you will know that 8,000 naira
leadership.
at least. Promise. How much is data? How much data do you use in a month?
She uses more than 8,000 naira data.
She uses more than 8,000 naira.
And she's
data.
not. She's a very irresponsible youth.
You see, so
okay, she's a youth that does not know what she's doing with her life.
Okay, you don't know what you are doing with your life. Okay,
Dr. Deji, let's go. So the federal government is trying to take steps. The President Buhari did. There's the President Buhari. I beg your pardon. In March, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu had mentioned.
That's sure you love Buhari. Why you say President Buhari?
No, Buhari actually acted on this.
Can I beg to do? Jonathan also did. So
yes.
the government tried that. The presidency said we're going to adopt Oronsaye's report, and the presidency even mentioned giving it speedy response, so expedited action, as it were. But till now, we're yet to see anything. And Gbajabi Amila, the chief of staff, is saying that that there is no timeline for the implementation of the Stephen Oronsaye's report. And this brought a lot of hope to people, because people thought that it's a good way to shrink agencies and parastatals and perhaps scrap the ones that were necessary to scrap, to cut cost of governance. But if we can't cut the cost of governance, if we're not after this announcement and we're still very clumsy in executing it, then does it mean that we still remain the way we are? Because Jonathan tried, did not succeed. Buhari tried, did not succeed. This is Oronsaye's report too, and then now this present administration too.
Right, and instead of, to add to what she said, so can open the phone lines, instead of trying to adjust and collapse the agencies and ministry, we created, the president created livestock ministry, adding another problems to what we already have, another cost to what we have.
Well, the thing is, you see,
another agency. So we have the Northeast and Southeast Development.
Yes, Northeast,
While
Southeast
you were reading
Development
the
Commission.
intro, I was just thinking in my head that why will government implement the Oronsaye report so long as governance remains a source of employment? If you look in this country, if you remove the likes of Dangote, Lumelu, one of the major source of employment is politics and governance, where you will see a governor appoint 1,000 special advisor.
Yeah, we had 2,000 in Rivers.
2,000 in Rivers.
Yeah.
And if you look at the profile of those advisors, some of them are ragtags, scallywags, street urchins, cultists, notorious cultists. No, cultists is different from notorious.
That's the direct accusation of them.
Precious.
I know they talk.
Wait,
sorry, sir.
I did. Wait, for the record, my PhD thesis, I did the data collection in Rivers State during an election period. So when I speak, sometimes I may be jovial about it, but I don't speak in vacuum. No, I may not use the whole of my mouth to speak. I may censor what I say, but I don't speak in vacuum. So I know what I'm saying. These people that you call special advisors, especially when the election is coming, do you know who are those special advisors?
No.
These are guys that they know that, oh, now you owe this base for this community. Now you be the rugged guy way they there. Now you the influential. They will appoint you as special advisor. You will be collecting salary. Maybe when they now win the election, after 3 months or 4 months, they will ease all of you out. These guys now become problem to the society. So how will you expect? You see, we know the right thing to do, we just don't like to do it. Why can't there be a law restricting that you cannot have more than so special advisors, more than so commissioners? Why is there not a law in that regard? To the best of my knowledge, we only have that at the federal level. The law at the federal level opens, did not close. It says each state must be represented, but it doesn't say you must have so numbers. Now, to the ministry that you said, except my Greek teachers were wrong, because when they created that ministry, I'm like, should they scam me for school? And I did primary school, secondary school.
We have Ministry of Agriculture.
Yes, I did a Greek. Except my teachers were wrong, or they no sabi book, because I did class. I listened well. Agriculture is in two phases: livestock rearing and crop production, isn't it? So if you have a Ministry of Agriculture, the ministry should naturally focus on crop production and livestock rearing. And livestock includes all living, if you now animals. Create another ministry to satisfy, and I said it that ministry is not livestock, because it will be dominated by cattle rearers. The president did it to satisfy the interest of the Mieti Alas and co. So at the end of the day, if you get to that ministry, you where they rear chicken, you know get mouth. So you where they rear fowl, you know go get level. You where they rear pig, you know go get level. Should we preempt that? Are you not being preemptive? It is. See, read between the lines. Like the biblical handwriting of the word, Daniel 5:25. Mene teke opasin. The handwriting of the word on the wall is very clear, crystal clear. If you trace the politics pre-Buhari period till now, you know that these people have been fighting for this thing, and now that they have it, what will now happen to the Ministry of Agriculture? Because you have to change that name to Ministry of Crop Production. Now that you have Ministry of Livestock, because agriculture is about crop production and livestock. And I sit down and I imagine, say, Tinubu, my guy, why? Okay, Lagos phone lines are open. Let's begin. Is it that because if I'm president, if they bring it to me, I'll be like, no. Agriculture is about crop production and livestock rearing. So this livestock something should have just been a department under the Ministry of Agriculture. Now you will build that ministry, will be replicated in the 36 states of the federation, because if they want to do something in Lagos, they must have offices. Look at the manpower. So government itself is overbloated. You have corrupt politicians that want to buy house in Dubai, that want to buy house in US, that want to buy house in UK. You have an overbloated civil service. All right, thank you, Dr. And you are buying jets. How will there be money? Dr. Digi, the Nigerians want to jump in. Give my people chance. 0700 903. Now they protect me from pressure. Sorry. 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call if you're calling us directly. 0700 903 903 903. The WhatsApp line is 0817 175 6338. 0817 175 6338. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Precious.
Sir, welcome, sir. Mr. Ola from Chicago.
Precious A.
Yes, sir.
You promise A. How are you?
Good evening, sir.
Hello.
Fine, thank you. You're welcome.
Good evening. Good evening, my brother. I have problem of. I can't hear you. Hello. Hello.
No,
Can you
Mr.
hear
Ola,
me?
we can hear you. We can hear you, Mr. Ola. Go ahead, please.
Okay.
Mm.
I don't have anything to say. No, when they said you cannot write a JAM exam in 18 years. But they allow.
Why can jump? Yes. Until you're 18.
Why can jump
Yes.
in 18 years? But they allow 13 years girl to be married. Which one is worse? You can see it. That's what I want to say about that.
All right.
Precious,
Sir?
I want you to give me a talk with the man. Why? You ask him that he took 400 names sent to Nigeria from the UAE or from the all those Arab countries.
United Arab Emirates. UAE.
Yes, you ask him that. How come you couldn't hear anything about those people? The man said they cannot rush out like that and publish the name of those people. That they can't do that. But I'm so surprised for the man to be saying that it's up to 2 years or 3 years now. We haven't heard anything about it. And he said there's criminality, insecurity. He lives in US and you are saying like that. US cannot fold his hand for people to be kidnapping everywhere and killing people everywhere. And they look at those people killing. The kidnappers are asking for ransom of 60 million. You are not transfer the 60 million. You put it in a bag. Ghana must go back. And where is the money going to? And those people are kidnapping for those people. If you see them, you believe that these people are kidnappers. They look wretched. Okay, people are killing. Oh my God.
Sorry, sir.
They're kidnapping 200 people. And people folding their hand, and you say that they cannot publish the name? Can America listen? Can be looking like that for kidnapping only one person or two, and America will be looking and say, "Oh no, we cannot do anything now."
Well,
Precious, I have so many things to say, but I don't want to take your much time.
It's okay. Thank
whenever you bring the man, I will excuse myself. God bless you.
I appreciate
Bye-bye.
you. You don't have to excuse yourself. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Lagos phone lines are still open, please. 0700 903 903 903. WhatsApp is 0817 175 6338. That's the WhatsApp number. 0817 175 6338. Hello, good evening to you. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, please. Welcome.
Yeah, good evening.
You're welcome.
Yeah, my name is Kingsley. I'm calling from Bode.
You're welcome, Kingsley. Go ahead.
I greet your guest.
He greets you too.
Madam President, I want to ask a question, and I need a sincere answer, please. Because the way this government is going, please, in 2027, if this government cancels the election, maybe because of Nigeria doesn't have money, they are not prepared, and postpone the election, please, what will happen? That's my question.
Okay, Dr. Deji, it is you that will answer that question. You know that me, I don't answer questions.
Please,
thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Dr. Deji will respond to you. Dr. Deji, like to respond to that?
Well, the thing is, it is not within the powers of the government to cancel the election. It is INEC that can say, okay, an election is, I think, postponed. INEC can only cancel an election in areas where there is violence. So I think it is not within the powers of the Tinubu administration to say they want to cancel an election. If it were to be during the military era, we can say, okay, maybe the military might want to use its military might. But this government, I don't think will want to do that, because it will be met with stiff resistance. It will be met with unprecedented resistance, because the government right now, to my mind, is having a legitimacy crisis. Sincerely, if what's on the street is anything to go by, so during that kind of thing, you can only try to muzzle your way in, but you really can't cancel the election. What we can have is partial cancellation, whereby maybe the stronghold of the opponent, they will maybe there will be crisis there. Then INEC will say, oh, the election is declared inconclusive. That word inconclusive was very well used at some point in time. I think that's the only thing that we can have. I don't think this government will want to go to the extent of saying they want to cancel an election. And if I can drop a word as regards your show yesterday. Now,
did you listen to the end?
Yes, I listened quite to some of it. Okay. What I discovered about the man, Mr. Amakri, am I correct? In fairness to him, you know, and I see that he himself appears helpless, and you can go back and listen to his submissions in that particular tape, in that particular interview. He himself appears helpless because we have a country that would assign a whole agency to the dictate of the president. That what I discovered from what he said yesterday, that
they cannot act without the approval of the president.
Exist to serve the president, and you ask yourself, what is going on in the minds, in the brain of the framers of the constitution? What will happen if Nigeria wakes up one day and you have a tyrannical person as the president?
So you mean that the constitution gives so much power to the president?
What if tomorrow you have an intolerant person as the president, and you say that DSS exists to serve the president, that they only obey the dictate of the president?
But by that statement yesterday, he did not mean just the DSS. I think it was subtly implying the entire security apparatus.
But he laid emphasis on the DSS.
That's what I'm saying. Almost, because both the police, the army, and all of that. At the end of the day, exactly. He also tilted towards that direction.
If the IG doesn't obey, it's simple. He will lose his job. Those were his exact way. He will lose his job. So you can see that the security agencies themselves are helpless, and that's why I've said it, that you see some of these things that you are going through. These security agencies, they are not spiritual. They are going through it. As you are complaining that life hard, they are complaining too. But the problem is that even they wish they have the freedom you have.
All right, thank you. They
wish they can talk the way you can talk.
Thank you, Dr. Digi. Hello, good evening to you. Apologies for keeping you on hold a little bit. Welcome.
Thank you.
What's your name, sir?
Madam Precious.
Evening, sir. Welcome.
And good evening, Sister Promise.
Good evening, sir. You're welcome.
Please make it quick. Make it quick. We don't have all the time. Thank you. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, my name is Peter Usi from Abanjeri.
Oh, hi, Peter. Welcome. Good to hear from you again.
Thank you very much. God bless you, ma'am. First, let me talk on the educational policy.
You make it very quick, please. We don't have all the time. Thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah, Atiku, please should provide better blueprints and alternatives to that policy, instead of making a criticism that does not hold water. He should provide a better blueprint so that the nation will understand him better. So that is that we should be able to criticize constructively, not just say that the policy is absorbed without giving us a better blueprint. Then as for NLC, I not saying there's no station, but the duty is always afraid.
All right, thank you.
So
thank you.
I pray that. Hello, let me finish.
And no, you no. You not attack me with let you finish now. I'm giving people lesser time today because there is no time. No, there is no time. That's why I will not let you land. If it takes you 5 minutes to land, I will not wait for 5 minutes for you to land.
I'm only talking for 1 minute.
You have just hit. You're almost hitting 2 minutes now, and I wanted to do 1 minute 30 seconds.
Please.
And I did 1 minute 90 minutes for everybody. 90 seconds.
So can you go ahead quickly?
Thank you very much. So I'm trying to say that they not appear no accusation why it is always appeared. If peradventure the man is guilty of such investigation and he is detained, please NLC should go on strike, but they should not touch the national grid, because the new leaders or NLC as a whole, the leadership will be part of
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I had someone on hold. I think the person has left. Are you there? Good evening.
I'm still here. Good evening.
Apologies for keeping you on hold. Go ahead, please. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
It's not a problem.
It's okay. Go ahead.
And I'm coming from Lagos. So.
You're welcome.
So quickly, I know you don't have any time now.
Yes, please.
About the educational wire.
Yes, please.
Do you know that I have a 14-year-old niece who is in our SS3. She'll be writing our wire next year.
You see?
What happens to because of it? And she is, if not the best female student in that school. What happens to her? These people ought to have told us that in the next 5 years or in 2030, They should just exonerate people that are in their JS1 now.
So you're trying to say that not even JS1, people in their primary stage now, anybody who's already in primary, they should have started this with the present ingoing primary 1 students now. To say that, I'm just saying, if you must implement it, you say that no child can get admission for primary 1 if you're not up to 5 or 6 years old. So that by the time you would have finished primary school and finished secondary school, you must have been up to 18 years old. It's an easiest way. It's just a very easy way to do it. We don't always have to do things that will make us to have policy somersault, because at the end of the day, we may have to change this, or people will not take their children to Ghana to go and write WAEC. You know, it's the same WAEC, right?
2 seconds. Don't forget that eventually, if you eventually gain admission, ASU strike is waiting for you. So if you gain admission at 21, ASU strike, SANU strike is waiting for you.
Hurry up, please. Apologies, I chimed into your time.
That's no problem. Now, it's for such a girl now, if you wait for the next 3 years, don't you know that will cause a decline in her brain?
Of course. The brain will be,
now, thereby affecting the future, the original futures of tomorrow.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. So, Dr. Digi, with what he says, remember that if you look at the records of the best graduating students or the best results from WAEC and even JAMB, most of the people who make the best scores for JAMB and WAEC are within the age of 15, 16, 17.
See,
and not much of them are even 18 years old.
What I've been thinking in my
so I'm wondering where the education is from.
I can imagine how I will resist the temptation if I happen to be a head of department or a sub-dean or a dean, and I'm opportune to meet a 15 or 16-year-old chap seeking admission and is qualified. The only thing that would hinder me from giving such a person admission is because there is one obnoxious law. Don't forget that this young chap that the caller referred to, abroad, you gain your BSc in 3 years. If that girl is to wait 3 years in Nigeria and her brain has become redundant, her mate abroad will be graduating.
Yes.
They will be wearing gown that they have BSc. Well, is it a crime to be a Nigerian?
All right, thank you. Hello, good evening, welcome.
So you cannot be intelligent again.
Welcome, sir.
I'm Mr. Okechukwu from Second State.
You're welcome, Mr. Okechukwu. Go ahead.
Yes, I want to comment on the issue of education.
Yes, go ahead.
Sir have done concerning the age. About 18 years, it's something in good direction. He did very well. Because if you go to the tertiary institutions, you will see 13 years, 14 years. I don't know why parents are rushing their children.
Okay, can I ask you a question, sir? No, sir, now just hang in there. Sorry, sir. The question now is, you have a child who tops her class, who is 15 years old now, that the person, the last caller just said. In fact, he even said he's about 14, 15, and he's in SS3, and she's the best in her class. And once she finishes this SS3 now, because she cannot write WAEC, tell me, what would that child be doing for the next 3 years? Till she gets to 18. And how will the parents, I'm coming, sir. How will the parents now continue to pay school fees for another 3 years for a class she's already exceeded and passed excellently? Do you also know, sir, that most of the people who graduate and do very, very well by the statistics and the result that we've seen in JAMB and WAEC, most of them are between the age bracket of 16, 17. How about that, sir? No, I asked the question so you can add it to what you're saying, sir. Go ahead.
What I'm saying is the reality of life. So let me tell you, a lot of parents are pushing their children. Even some of them will take their common entrance exam when they are primary 4. I don't know why they are rushing these children. Because these children, they will not allow them to mature. Because when I studied in Imo University, so then the little ones that came in, I saw how they were punishing them. Even their provision when they came into the school, they would just.
So, but you're not answering my question. Rather, you're regurgitating the same thing you've said again. You did not answer the solution to the problem. No, you are regurgitating, and your time is eating up. Your time is gone. You're repeating what you already said before. You said that parent. You've said this over again. How do we solve the problem now? The ones that are already there. Nobody. I've never even mentioned don't implement a policy. I'm saying that for the ones that are already there now, what happens to them once they finish? How would they feel the vacuum of the next 2-3 years that is left for them to get to 18? What's your solution?
Okay, let me answer that. Let me answer it. It's because of the ignorance of the parents. They are the ones that cause it for them.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Dr. Digi wanted to say something.
See.
Thank you so much, sir.
This misplacement of priority.
This one you have to remove your cap.
No, the thing is, see, if by the grace of God Almighty, if I'm opportune in my life to earn a PhD, to earn masters in different climate, different continent, you expect me to sit down here and support in a country where people are turning to ritualists, kidnappers, and the few young ones, we are still looking for how to receive. Do you know the joy of God blessing you with a young chap? They brought one 2-year-old girl to me, just 2-year-old. That 2-year-old blew me off my feet. The kind of intelligence that girl has, I wish the parent can just do change of name and say that we give you. The kind of intelligence that 2-year-old has, if that girl follows that kind of line, imagine when she enters secondary school. That is a first class product in a country whereby there is misgovernance, corruption, maladministration. You leave the age bracket of a politician blank. Constitution, law, policies allow you, if you are 100 years, to become president, despite the fact that when you are maybe 60 or 65 in any organization, it is widely assumed that your productivity has declined.
Because your brain, they will ask you to retire. Your brain function reduces.
But now they cannot reduce the age that if you are more than 65, if you are no longer able to function in a bank, if you are no longer able to function in a bank, why should you be president?
As a president?
Is Nigeria no more than a bank?
Doctor, someone is on the line.
And you just need
someone is on the line.
And you don't need a school certificate
to be a president.
You know,
you don't even need academics.
You need
the proof that you can read and write.
For instance, if you want to contest for president, if I can come out and say, "Oh, I was there, me and Promise attend the same school," even if you don't have certificate, it's okay.
Hello, good evening to you.
We didn't address that. We are now saying, "Oh, come on."
Hi, good evening.
Hi, good evening. Oh, hi, Faulkner.
You can do better.
Hey, what a precious, what a promise.
Hi,
hello, Faulkner.
Wait on, sir.
Been a while. You're welcome.
It's been a while, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Faulkner.
Okay, I'll be quick.
Please
I think the issue was sometimes when you have leaders that people who doesn't understand how education can be used and how talent can be used. I think what they should be doing is that you see those kids within that 13 years of age, what they should have created is it's called a charter school, like a special talent school, where there are some kids that they are very special, that it's impossible for you to keep them within secondary school. They need to be in college and also doing their masters because they are very special. So those kids are special. They should create those kind of charter school for them, whereas they can go.
He said they should create what? Calm down, Faulkner, no vex. He said they should create what?
It's called like a charter school. It's like a special talent school.
The universities we have and secondary schools, have we finished creating and taking care of them?
No, I'm just saying that instead of creating this law, this law doesn't apply to kids of those
category
that have knowledge. Yeah, it doesn't apply. So it doesn't matter what they do. It's just pointless because when you have people who doesn't understand how system are being implemented, they are the ones that create law. It's just sad that you have people in government that they don't even understand things and they are the one in power. And everything still boils down to people that we vote in there. The day that we realize that it's not just about you voting in the president election, you need to start voting your local election or the central election. Those are the areas that you can make changes and make parts of the world.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Some of our Nigerian politicians, majority of them, their kids are in university before 18.
How many of their children's school in Nigeria? That's the question.
Before 18. Right. How dare you, no matter who you are, want to limit the intellectualism of a child? Just because that's why I'm surprised about the second to the last caller. That if a child happens to be brilliant, if God has given that child the wisdom of Solomon, you now want to say that that child must wait till 18. Why is it that we like to go back? We go back to old anthem. We are now going back to the days whereby your hand have to touch your hair before you are allowed to enter school.
But you know that old anthem. Ababi told us the reason why we went back to it. I'm coming. Someone is on the line. Hello, good evening to you. Good evening. Are you there? Hello. You just want to hear our voice. Hey, good evening. Welcome.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, welcome.
About the education something. That if a child is up 18 years, it's not to enter university. I don't think it's too late for a child to enter university by at the age of 18. Because like 2 weeks ago, a sister of mine is given to husband at the age of 18. What about if a child enter university at the age of 18? It's not too late.
Oga, you still don't understand the point. I'm sorry, sir. I think we are getting it wrong. The law is not that a child will enter. I'm coming, sir, now. I'm sorry, sir. Let me just correct that. No, let me correct that. You go to your second point. You go to your second point and I'll give you your time. The law is not that a child would not only get admission in 18 by 18, no. The law is that for you to even write WAEC, you have to be 18 years old. For you to write JAMB. And remember that writing WAEC does not mean that you have entered the university already. Most people write WAEC this year. They write JAMB the next year before they get into university. So it is the writing of WAEC at 18 that is the question. So go ahead with your second thoughts.
Okay. Leave that one. Let me ask my second question.
Go ahead.
My second question is this. Do we have a local chairman? I know what's your local government. Look at Isheri Osho Road from the Paco Paco post up down to Isheri community. It's a death trap. Do we have a chairman? If we have a chairman on this in this area, the chairman is supposed to look into that road. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. Lagos one like that. Promise to have messages.
In fairness to government, just a quick one. I loved government policy of scrapping degrees from all these Ghana, Togo, and I laugh. Some of our celebrities, British, that we go to one mushroom school in Benin Republic to go and collect one honorary doctorate degree. They now be calling themselves.
But they don't use it to work.
Hypocrisy. You see,
they don't use that to work. It's just a normal.
No, right. So let's go back to our.
If you give me time, I will tell you the difference between a real PhD and honoris causa, which is the honorary doctorate degree. First, for you to be given an honorary doctorate degree, it means that you have made giant strides. You have made unimaginable impact in your community and field of endeavor. Alex Okubo, I can count the movie. I can count the movie that I've seen him in. I just saw one day on social media wearing gown in a parlor with two people wearing gown. You see, Nigeria is a funny country. When they want to award honorary doctorate degree, is it in a parlor? Is it in a parlor that they do convocation? At least I've been able to participate in convocation before, and I've seen where there are people who actually went to those schools. They pay some thousands of dollars to one school in Benin Republic. Why are we certificate crazy?
But Dr.
If you want to be a doctorate title, go and read, go and do research, go and do thesis. I almost died. One crazy Okada that carried me when I went to River State. Rain was falling.
Why am I states?
He you see, Jesus
so
Christ.
Can we
that guy went to throw me inside one pit because rain has fell and maybe the guy is high on one substance. I don't know.
That was your journey to getting your PhD. Apologies. Hello, good evening to you.
I will tell you the stories some other time. You know that it's
good evening. Welcome.
Hello, this is Jonathan calling from
Jonathan,
London.
You're welcome. Go ahead very quickly.
I greet your guest there.
Good evening, sir.
So regarding this age situation about this entrance exam and JAMB or whatever, government is just fetching water inside the basket. So that's my own. Because the same government destroy public institutions by strikes, universities, secondary schools, state secondary schools. and people are exploring private institutions. So exploring bright mind, investing. So you come now that the people should not want to using age limit. It won't work. What about the business part of the private institutions, private secondary school, private university? So those one will now fold their hands and keep quiet. So this submission will not, as well as your guest rightly said, you are not limiting the age of politicians contesting election, but you want to limit the bright people.
All right, thank you.
The productive age.
Thank you.
No, it won't work.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So, Dr. Digi,
why not create a policy as a government? If I'm the Minister of Education, I would rather create a policy that if you are able to show exceptional brilliancy, that you are able to gain admission into university at the age of 15, or you get A1 straight in your WAEC, there's a reward that government will give to you.
Now, small now. Maybe after this one, I'll go
shout
to that
out
one.
Shout out to Lukoya of MFM.
All right.
Who says that if you are a member of his church and you buy a first class, he will give you free car and money. Why can't if Olukoya of MFM can do that? What is stopping government? Olukoya of MFM is giving people that buy first class car.
Hello.
But the government of the country that he is residing in is limiting.
Hello, good evening to you. Welcome.
Good evening, Precious. Good evening, Promise, and good evening, Dr. Deji.
Good evening.
My name is Michael. I'm calling from the UK.
You're welcome, Michael. Go ahead.
I'm so shocked that Nigeria is putting on an age limit now for students to get into higher institution. It's so sad. How can you compete with the Western world or China or Japan? You need to see what these countries are churning out. So in the international stage, we can't even compete with.
Maybe Precious and Promise can educate us. A 13-year-old.
I do not. I'm not managing a home at 13.
Where I come from.
I didn't manage it at 13.
It doesn't happen where I come
We be
from.
minister. No, as in wife duties as a woman. Because if you marry a 13-year-old, you know what brain lies in the head of a 13-year-old that you say the 13-year-old should be ministered to get pregnant, to carry baby. A 13-year-old that is
she's ministered to,
that should still be under monitoring. You didn't understand the
no.
Should I use another word?
Let's go to the messages.
Should I use another word?
No.
Maybe you
sometimes
don't understand.
my English comprehension.
I don't even want to think about that.
It is sad. And you see a country where you see politicians, they will be brandishing 13-year-old girl, 14-year-old girl. I remember the case of Yerima.
Yeah. Dr. Deji, let's read our messages so that people will not come for us.
You leave all the adult beautiful girls.
Because we don't have all the time. This is coming from His Royal Highness B.C. Nwoko. Good evening, Precious, Promise, and your guests. The mistake PDP will do, the worst mistake they will do in 2027 is to present Alhaji Atiku Abubakar as their flag bearer. To be honest with you, Precious, it will be a Christmas gift for the APC. Okay. This is your talk, and you're telling us.
Chukwuka says, good job, my people. Indeed, you guys are doing a great job. Please. Okay. Thank you. And Osman Kido says, good evening, Precious. We are battling unknown enemies in this country. Kenneth Mwafo, thank God. Anozie Ngozi, I see all of you and I appreciate you.
Can I Chuku from First Star says, trust Nigerians. This age limit thing will make many parents to start forging birth certificates so that their children can meet up the age range. You know, that could. That's a possibility.
Sylvester says the minister was right, and Emmanuel says 19-20 years is already a graduate in abroad, but we in Nigeria we want them to be in university till 25 years. So when when do you want them to look for jobs with experience? How do you even want them to cope? And the Bob Yozoma says, consign me. Taking my daughter to Canada next year. Nigeria should enjoy their backwardness.
And this says if government want to do it better, they should put into law that if anyone wants to contest any ambition for president or to chancellor, their children must compulsory attend public schools in Nigeria and live
by the way, that bill was almost coming, including that of health tourism, but it was quashed like with speed, with the speed of light. He can't be accepted. Yes.
Amaka, you're saying you love our guest. Emeka from Abashon Estate, and this says, good evening, Precious.
Say you love me, nah man.
No, yes.
Nah man. Nah 14 years old.
Precious says my daughter is 13 years, brilliantly schooling with scholarships with with at least second position all through her exams, please, will she wait for 2 extra years to reach 18 years before writing GCE or WAEC?
Okay, comrade Godfrey from Surulere just greeting us, and he's saying, I like the street mature response from Atiku to Bode George. From the way Nigeria is crawling now without legs, how sure is Bode George that Nigerian can crawl to 2027?
Okay. Oladiwole, we'll see you. All the messages is sent. Thank you. Keneziki, we'll see you. I see all of you and I appreciate you. Unfortunately, we can't take all your messages. Okay, let's see if I can take one from Wale Adiwole. He said, Oba Emperor Ijoba. That's Yoruba language.
Right. Shola from Oshodi says, in the recent time, how many northerners perform excellently in Jambo WAEC? Only southerners and easterners. Why should they not put age limit? Okay.
All right,
and this says, I believe that Atiku's ambition is more than anything else with this thing to.
Okay. All right. Let's see if we can take a few more calls, 2 or 3 more, and then we get going. Hello. Good evening to you.
Hello. Good evening, Precious Promise and Dr. Deji.
Good evening.
Good evening, Nigerians.
Thank you.
Let me just quickly.
What's your name, please, and where are you calling from?
I'm Laura. I'm calling from the UK.
Okay. Go ahead, please.
I agree with the person who said charter schools. There's some extremely bright kids and they do charter schools. I don't agree with this government. There's one thing I will slightly agree with. Here in the UK, there is a regimented system whereby you must meet the age. But then it's easy for people to comply because from 0 to you finish your A levels is all paid for by the government, by the taxpayer. So which one is your business? Do you understand? Even
by A level, you mean what? You mean by A level? By A level with Nigerian system, how would you rate that?
16 years, you finish secondary school here in the UK. Then you go to A level. You start your A levels at 16 plus, so 17. Their results for GCSE just came out last week. Those people are 16. Then they'll go spend 2 years in A levels, and when you finish with A levels,
and those schools are free.
Jobs, at least
the A levels are free.
All of it is free. All of it is compulsory.
Oh wow!
And when you do your A levels, at least 50% of jobs you can get with that A levels. Do you understand? That's the equivalent of a diploma, roughly a diploma level 1 in Nigeria.
That is like an OND.
Yes, and the difference is by the time you finish A levels at almost 19 and you're going to the university, you're spending only 3 years for a BA, a BEd, most degrees. It's only medicine and law and one. Yes. I think law is even 3 years. That then goes to 4. Do you understand? So I think this whole conversation is a bit of a distraction from the reality that is on ground. And APC is very good in destroying bones to Nigerians to distract us from the criminality that they are committing in Abuja. So I don't want to focus. Okay. From the things they are doing in Abuja, which some of them need to be contested. So let's put that aside.
But your time is up. Your time is up. You don't have much time. You want to rush.
So let me quickly spend one more thing. The Nigerian nurses, first they came for Nigerian nurses. Now they've come for students. They are coming for everybody, one after the other, until we speak up. To the Nigerian nurses, if you have a transcript, you've graduated, you have a transcript, take your transcript, go to any West African country, go and do your final year again, and qualify as a nurse in Ghana. In other words, register as a member of, not of Nigerian nurses and midwifery, but of Ghanaian nurses and midwifery, so that you can travel abroad.
But that's more expensive.
Money and expenses. That's the thing.
You mean that it's better than staying aloof?
Nigeria not travel.
It's better than Nigeria to travel your destiny.
There are nurses in the UK now that want to renew their visa.
Yes, we hear that they're not renewing.
Their employers cannot track their qualification.
Yes.
So why not go to, if you're already in the UK, unfortunately Ukraine used to be the cheap option, just go there and go and take your transcript from 300, 400 level, do 1 whole year, and you can do a lot of things virtually. Go fly in, do the practicals, and become a member of the Nurses and Midwifery Council of Ghana.
Are we not enriching other countries' academic system
instead of rate of today?
Oh, thank you so much.
Cross the river across from Akwa Ibom, enter Cameroon, and go and requalify for only 1 year, and take your transcript, qualify, and come. Leave this government that does not want to invest in your life, but they want to cripple people's lives. It's not possible.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you so very much. Promise, our messages, we can't even read any of them again because let's see. Okay, so let's see if I can help you read some of them very quickly. What you're reading. Good evening. Please, can I ask the Minister of Education from where is he from? Kunle from Iyanikwaje. Where the Minister of Education from?
No.
Tahiri Baman. Where from?
No. It's from the north.
Okay. Okay. Mary from Okeafa says parents should not agree with the idea of writing work at 18 because most children finish SS3 at the age of 15, 16. Well, you said a lot, but we'll just stop it at that.
China Mary from Agbara says, if our leaders should continue to rule Nigeria the way they are ruling, that Nigeria continues to go down, it will pose serious danger for them as leaders. That is what happened to that rep member in the north, that they almost took his life, but they stoned by the people he was representing.
Right, Precious, Promise, and Dr. DJ, I'm short of words. Monjay from Egbeda sent in that message.
Emperor says, did you read Emperor's messages? He said, I think Tinubu is trying. I think we should give him some time. They are really trying to know you. Let's give them more time.
And this one says, Precious, and Promise. Honor, they exclude us for this program. It still be VOP. Sorry, I have been trying to call you, but network has been frustrating. Because we've not been reading your messages. Sorry now. Sorry.
Apostle Pari wrote quite a lot. The problem of the present regime of Tinubu is characterized with trial and error, and that's because they are using the yardstick with which he governed Lagos as a measure in governing the entire country. And you say quite a lot there, Harry. And this says PMP. My name is Chinedu from Alaba International Market. God bless you. We're going to stop repeating and soliloquizing to ourselves. Tomorrow another person is coming as you get till end of. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Precious, for continually bringing prolific, factual, and objective analysis to your program. I wept on Esther's segment. No. Let's forget about that.
Amobi from 7 and 8 says, remember that Rotimi Amechi said that they are what they are doing. They are doing what they are doing because we are not stoning them. So the Northerners are waking up to do what Amechi asks us to be doing, for the leaders to know that they are our servants and not our lords.
Precious, this exercise is contagious. Please keep the good work. This 18 years, I hope they are considering time to be wasted by ASU too.
And this says Dr. Deji is a confirmed intelligent man. Anytime he's in the studio, Promise, are you always
an intelligent guy, man?
You're accusing me, Precious. You see what? She didn't see anything.
Okay, so Dr. Deji, let's have you have your pattern
people for protecting. They protect me from pressure. So
hell, Dr. Deji, let's have you have your before you have your pattern shots, please.
Subscribe to my YouTube channel.
I should have told them earlier.
Polythink with Omoshola Deji. So if you search YouTube Polythink, that's POLITHINK.
Polythink with Omoshola Deji.
THINK. Polythink with Omoshola.
They drop your lyrics.
Now they drop my lyrics. Subscribe, turn on the notification button. Let's make it happen.
So you always do something.
Edu election is coming. Now you need political scientists to bring all the insights for analysis. So we make it happen.
Thank you so much, Dr. Deji. My name is Precious Enyi, and
I'm Promise Enyi on Instagram. I'm Promise Enyi Official and other social media handles.
All right, my name is
Promise.
Yeah, my name is Precious Enyi. I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Well, if you want to follow me, like my village people, my most active social media will be YouTube, and that is at Precious Enyi TV on YouTube. Precious ENYI TV on YouTube. Enyi means friend, and I love to be your friend to the end. Protect your mental health. I love you dearly. Good night.